Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Blabbing Translators. My name is Dmitry Kornikhov. I'm your host. Joining me tonight, my amazing co-host, Elena Tereshenkova. Hi,
Hi
Elena.
guys.
So, Blabbing Translators is the first live talk show about translation and translators, where Elena and I invite very interesting people of our profession, and we have uh, little chats about all kinds of things. From video game localization to publishing books. And tonight, actually, we have a very interesting conversation. We have two of our colleagues from Russia and Ukraine join us tonight. The names are Elena Chudnovskaya and Tetyana Struk. A couple of years ago, they launched a very interesting project. They had this idea of publishing a book that would promote the art and craft of translation and interpreting. And tonight they're going to share the experience of how this idea come around and how they came up with it and where it all ended. So let's introduce ourselves. Tetyana, you go first. Please introduce yourself and tell our audience a few things about yourself.
I'm what I can tell about myself is that for 19 years I run translation company. We do mostly localization into Ukrainian. I'm located in Lviv. It's the nice and ancient city in the western Ukraine. I also lecture at universities for 10 years. I held courses in translation technologies, and I do a lot of interesting things to promote our profession in Facebook, in internet. And I can see a lot of people in the audience who participate in these events. So I'm glad to see you here.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Elena, now it's your turn. Please introduce yourself and tell us a few things about you.
I've been a freelancer for 15 years on and off. Before that, and in the process as well, I've been a teacher and a coach. I started as a teacher of English, then I switched to interpreting and translation, and then I found that I've learned enough lessons and have had enough failures to teach others. And now I have a course in interpreting for younger interpreters. I also help coordinate interpreting in our local open events, which involve international participants. And I do a lot of interesting things, like publishing books. Maybe that.
Awesome. So, and
Thank you.
How did you two meet?
Tetyana. Maybe Tetyana will tell. Maybe Tetyana knows how we met, because it's really hard for me to remember how we did that. It seems like we've known each other forever.
But actually, we don't know each other forever. No? First, we met somewhere in Facebook, in discussions, or we had common friends. Then we met at one of translation events. I think it was Translation Forum Russia in Sochi. And then after that, there was a meeting that really changed everything in our communication. It was a meeting in a very rainy Lviv day, in having a cup of coffee in a local cafe when Elena came to visit Lviv. And then we decided that we want to continue our communication and continue our friendship.
Yeah, and Tetyana also gave me a wonderful gift. I didn't mention one thing about myself. I collect all kinds of owls. I mean, those that fly usually, but mine do not. Mine stand very peacefully, all kinds of shelves around my home. I can show you one of them, but Tetyana gave me one of those owls, and I immediately felt that we are kin spirits and that we can make friends.
That's an amazing story. And
So?
I also collect something. I collect frogs, and I envy the two of you because you met each other in real life. It's a great thing. When you meet someone with who you interact online, when you meet in real life, it's something really special.
Yeah,
so,
at least you can give each other.
Yeah, real presents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's dive into our topic today, into the book you published, the book of Translators Stories, written by translators and about translators. How did that idea come to life, and what was the first? What appeared first, the community or the idea for the book?
I think I can start.
Yeah,
because actually it started with me, but not really with me. It started with one of the gurus of the translation of the language profession, who's Jost Zetsche. We all know him, and we know that Jost Zetsche and Natalie Kelly wrote a book called Found in Translation, and it was also a present for me. This book was also a present for me, and I was just reading it, and I shared my thoughts on this book on Facebook. And the main thought was that okay, that's a great book and such a wonderful collection of stories about translators and how we really save the world and how we really make the world go round. And why don't we still have something like that in the Russian-speaking community? And Tetyana overheard that, and she wrote a comment. So why don't we do that? And I say, okay, let's do that.
Actually, our book, I'll show maybe it doesn't look like, it doesn't resemble actually a Found in Translation, because it is it has the different basis, the different principles. It is here we have our authors. It's here we have our great pictures, if you can see something.
Yeah, we can.
It's very colorful,
you can
and
also,
it's really nicely illustrated.
You can also look at that at the website. Well, on the website, you can also find this.
We'll provide the link to the website in the show notes. Yeah.
I can hear every third word of you, so just shout for me if I'll stop talking.
I'll write to you.
And actually, what we thought is that we in our industry we're surrounded by such brilliant people. They are really so smart. They are well educated. They read a lot. They are so creative. And nobody sees us. Nobody actually appreciates us like personalities. And that's what we wanted to show everybody, that we are such nice people worth to be seen. Yes. And then when the book was published, we created a group in Facebook, and then community created itself, so to say. Now it's like a warm space where you can come and feel good.
And we did not provide any structure for that. We just announced that we had published the book, and that maybe there will be something else. And people started joining this club, and people themselves called this not a community, not a group. They called that a club, and we didn't mind that at all. And people started coming up with all kinds of different ideas and stories, and so we provided an unstructured space, just a space in itself. And it started to fill itself with different things, with different people. That's amazing.
So how did you actually collect the stories that were published?
Okay, maybe it happened. The story started a year and a half ago. Yes, it's not a couple of years even. It's a year and a half. The situation around us at that time was not an easy one, and we really wanted to find something just to relax, to distract ourselves from what is happening around us. But as that situation was not stable and we didn't know what will be further, so we decided that our horizons of planning will be really very small. So we'll do one step in a time. And at first we just made stories. And we decided that we won't have any limitations, any rules, nothing. There should be 3 stories from a person. They should be small, 1 page and a half. Yes, and no politics, no negative things. Something about profession.
No complaining that we're invisible.
No prices discussed, nothing. Just something about profession, about a person in profession, about his or her personality, and that's all.
That's one interesting thing. Whenever you write an announcement, we are collecting stories from our peers. We want to get you to talk. People start writing to us. People start saying to us, but we have nothing funny to say. And I don't know where they get that from. Why they suppose that they have to be like clowns or stand-up comedians? Why they have to entertain others all the time. We said, no, you can write sad stories, you can write terrible stories, just not too scary, and certainly no politics.
Yes, and at first nobody wrote anything. Yes, so no, everybody supported us. Everybody, they wrote us. Well, what a great idea you have! Just wow, we supported. But nobody actually
rallied around us. And no writing, flags waving, you know.
And then we decided to warm people up a bit and ask them, just please write your biographies and send us with your photos, small biographies. It was also very challenging for people because most of them told, well, I'm nothing special in my life to write about. But then actually we persuaded some people that they are very special, and they believed us. They wrote first bios, and then it gave people that feeling of immediate result. And because I suppose nobody actually believed that it will be a book in the result, neither do we. Am I correct, Elena?
So do I get?
We really didn't. We thought that okay, we have this idea.
One question: you started collecting stories without knowing that it's going to be a book at the end. You just wanted to collect stories.
No, we had a dream. We did have a dream.
Yes,
we dreamt of having a book, and from the very start, we knew how the book should look and how it should feel. There was one main thing. We wanted it to be on paper because in the world of electronic devices and intangible things, we wanted to have something to go back in our minds to what we were doing in that town of Lviv, in that coffee shop, because we were drinking coffee. And when Tetyana came in, I was reading a book, and I was reading a book on paper. And I spilled a drop of coffee on it, and that smell of coffee and paper, that was just something amazing, and I can still remember that. So we really wanted to kind of replay that sensation.
Yes, but it was still a road ahead of us from our dream to that book.
But we didn't believe it would happen. No.
Yes, yes, we didn't.
So what have helped you to keep people motivated? How you promoted this idea to the community and how they reacted?
How we promote it. Well, then at certain point, people started to promote it themselves. So we kept everybody involved in the process. We shared our processes, everything. Yes, we shared every step. We shared our fears. Yes, we shared our achievements. And so maybe in 3 months, yes, in 3 months, we had a deadline for the stories. It was the 21st of March, and we announced that we are collecting stories on December 25. So it was 3 months. We had at that moment we had enough stories to think what we would do with them after we have them.
Did you use any tools that help you to somehow coordinate that project, or was it just all spontaneous, no special tools, just email or I don't know, Facebook?
Well, it was. Can we call Facebook a tool still?
Yeah, sure we can. Why not?
So it was one of our main tools. It was the tool to share ideas, and neither me nor Tetyana have any special kind of professional pages, but we try to keep the pages kind of neutral, not to write too personal the information that is too personal, and that is why our pages are viewed more as a professional tool, as a professional space than something where some space where we show pictures of our cats, though we do, of course, and. We also used Skype a lot, and that was when we discovered two wonderful tools that everybody knows in the modern world. That's Google Docs and Google Hangouts, or actually 3 of them, and Dropbox. And that's what helped us exchange ideas and create texts and even review each other's texts online and in real time. And that was something that I personally had never used before.
Yes, we actually developed that great skill of writing simultaneously in the document, just sentence after sentence. It's very interesting and exciting feeling, just when you're thinking in one direction and the text develops it appears from nowhere, you know.
It seems like everything was happening by itself, but these 3 very simple things really helped us keep in touch and exchange ideas just as soon as they came up, as soon as they occurred to us.
And was it just the 2 of us promoting this project, or did you have some kind of fans or early adopters who would rally for your project and help you in some kind of the way?
Friends?
I
think we can call them. It's not that we can call those people friends. They are our real friends. We did have some not really reputation before that. But we were somehow known to people because we were doing things. Because Tetyana was promoting our profession through a couple of projects, and both in Ukraine and online in the international community, and she was attending different conferences. And I was doing maybe similar things because I was known as a coach, and I had some students as my subscribers, and I was known as that simultaneous interpreting team coordinator for a couple of events. So it was not that we were completely unknown to the local.
And I think the most interesting thing happened when the book was published. The first buyers of the book, they started posting photos of the book in different cities with their cats, with their raccoons, with their rats and things like that, or in different cities. So our book has the most impressive portfolio of photos. I think nobody of us actually, because the buyers of our book, they live everywhere. You know?
Like how many countries? 16 or something.
Wow.
Yes, the authors of the book actually are from 10 countries. But the book is written in Russian and in Ukrainian, but still they live in 10 countries. And the buyers, they live absolutely everywhere. So it was a good promotion. It was really a great promotion because friends of our friends saw these pictures and they were interested. And even if they were not translators, were not in this profession, actually they also bought the book. It was really something very impressive. So it promoted itself, and people promoted it.
Yeah, even though we only set up that group or club, as it now is known, after the book was published. And even though we actually promoted the book only through that club and on our personal pages, and also on Tetyana's project page and through the website, I still cannot understand how people got to know about the book who are not even on Facebook. They just said, a friend told me, or I learned about it in a library. We never promoted the book to libraries. We never really did a signing tour of stores. This seems to be magic, but I think that's the power of the word of mouth, the power of the so-called horizontal links between people. Which is so exciting about our times.
I'm not sure if I should ask the next questions then, because everything seems to work out like by magic or some kind of some sort of thing. But did you face any challenges during the preparation of stories, publishing the book, at any stage of the project? And if you did, what were those challenges?
Because Tetyana was responsible.
Tetyana, probably.
The actual Tetyana, I think we lost Tetyana.
No, I'm here, but I didn't hear the question actually.
The question was,
it was about challenges, I suppose, or something like that.
Right. Did you face any challenges at any stage of the project?
There were certain challenges, but we did not maybe perceive them as challenges. Actually, the technical process of preparing the book was not such a fun as it was all this work around the book. But actually, we perceive everything like a game, and all this instability, it makes it really very, very interesting. And we tried to really concentrate on what was good and develop things. Concentrate maybe on the better side, on the sunny side of the project. Can you think about maybe some dramatic challenges for us?
I think, well, for me personally, this whole process has been a challenge from the very start, because being a freelancer, I'm a very closed up person. I'm not very sociable. I'm a very outgoing, and all these things I have to do to go out and actually tell people about the book from my own first person is a real kind of quest for me. That's a quest where I'm continuously going outside of my so-called comfort zone and finding out that the zone outside of it is even more comfortable. So maybe we were each of us doing something for ourselves in the process, and that's why the smaller challenges, the smaller difficulties were seen as just part of the process, part of the bigger process. And I also really want to tell about how we invited people who did the illustrations, people who did the pictures. Yeah, maybe Tetyana will tell us. No,
just tell
no. I will, because it was another stop that shows the power of horizontal links, and maybe there is something really to research here, to study here, because we do not expect that that each word that we say online will have such a resonance around, not only on with the public on the social media, who are using the social media, but also for those who are just people just around us, because when we started collecting the stories, one of the authors asked me, do you have a rule that you are only accepting stories without pictures? Because I have not heard about any pictures in your stories. And I immediately thought, do we have this rule? Maybe we did, but now we don't. Because this author had already sent to me, was already going to send to me the picture that's a friend of hers painted for her story. And it was a very fun picture, and I thought, okay, we have one story with a picture, why don't we have others with pictures as well? And we wrote again an announcement on Facebook, on our personal pages, that we are looking for talents inside the translation profession, but also outside of it. Maybe some translators, some peers have friends or colleagues or children or grandpas who want to have fun and maybe work with, maybe do illustrations as an experiment. And in the long run, we had 5 people drawing pictures for us, and only two of them were translators by profession. So we really found out that people who do not have anything to do with translation found it interesting, found it challenging, found it exciting to illustrate the book.
Did you have to hire any other?
Actually, every one of these artists who painted pictures for us at this or that stage, they wrote us, "I'm so happy to be in this project. I'm really happy. You brought a sunshine in my life," and it was so strange that our feeling of joy actually spread it far behind the limits of our community, of people who know us personally or online, because these were people who never heard about us actually.
Did you collaborate with any other professionals, like I don't know, designers to design the? Yeah,
with us.
Tetyana, come here.
Just...
Yeah.
Can you hear somebody?
Yeah,
I do.
I don't.
Elena, probably you answer the question about other professionals. Did you hire someone to do the layout, or I don't know, to design the cover of the book?
The cover was designed by one of the artists who did the illustrations. And the design was partially our own job and partially it was on the someone that Tetyana knew, a designer who was a friend of Tetyana's. And then we also, of course, we use the services of a printing house, but not a publishing company, not a proper publishing company. Because if it is a game, we play it from beginning till end, and we only use the services of others where it is absolutely necessary. And it was okay to collect the book using our own resources. Tetyana,
So, and you basically funded the book all by yourself. You didn't have to raise any funds, ask for money from the community.
There was an on Tetyana's side. So if she ever hears us, she will tell in more detail.
I can hear only Lena, so just please repeat the question.
Okay, I will be the interpreter. That's the role I'm very much used to. But then, can I have my tea? By the way, that's not red wine or rosé. That's I really like drinking from glassware, and people always suspect that I drink during my work, which I do not.
So what was the question?
Well, the question now that I have drunk my tea, I can interpret. The question was about money. Where did you get the money to fund the publishing? Where did you get the money?
Actually, I get the money from my pocket, and however, we try to minimize the costs. So, as Lena already told, that we addressed the printing house. We didn't use publishers. So it was actually that cost of printing that we had, and maybe of some small other promotions, and that's all. So, and we have a very limited number of copies. We printed only 500 copies. And about 100 is still in my office. So we hope actually that they'll find their buyers, so we could start another project. But we never considered it like a commercial project, so it paid for itself. And that's good. We never planned to earn millions in this project.
Did you make any?
No, we didn't.
Did you make any mistakes? Something that you definitely would have done differently if you had a chance.
I will interpret.
Yeah, Elena.
Please do.
Answer and then interpret it for Tetyana.
I will still repeat the question first. It was about our mistakes. Did you make any mistakes? Was there anything that we would have done differently if we were doing that for the second time? I think it would be only fair if Tetyana answered first now, because she's the sufferer.
I've just something that actually, as we told, we consider it a game, and in our game there are only really a limited amount of rules, so we cannot fail. We always win. We always focus on what is good in our project. And because at the very beginning we decided that that's the way how evolution actually develops, because it takes only the best. It doesn't notice mistakes. So for us, it was I don't think it could be called a mistake in our project.
Yeah.
Do you, Lena?
Indeed, I would not. Again, as a teacher, as a coach, I really try to avoid the word mistake, because if you focus on mistakes, you focus on mistakes, and you think about mistakes, and you do not think about developing. You do not think about moving on. If you think about doing something differently, it means that you are first writing a draft of anything, of your life, of your profession, of your book, and then you hope that there will be another life, another profession, another something. But if we see our what we do as a research, as things we will later reflect on, then nothing is a mistake, and really nothing is a lesson, because life doesn't teach us lessons. Life is maybe for nothing, just for fun. And so if we still have fun in the process, and if other people have fun around us, maybe it may sound like preaching, but really that was how we felt, and that was how we feel. We still feel. And if there are any students among the listeners, they will confirm that this is how I go about my about my classes, about my the trainings that I do. So I always say, focus on the best. Choose, see what you do, what good things you're doing, see what you're good at, and build on that. So
that's a great attitude.
That was my.
Yeah, I think it's a very, very good approach to life and everything. So, and what are your future plans for your community, your book, or just in general?
That was about whether we have any plans for our community. And I think you have an answer, Tetyana. No?
Actually, we are doing a lot of things in the community now, and not only we are doing, people who are united by our club, they are developing a lot of initiatives. For example, now we are in the process of postcard crossings all over the globe in our community, and we also have very interesting projects where we can hear voices of our friends who read poems. And it's a project initiative launched by Joseph Kovalov, and we have podcast with that poems. We continue publishing stories of our members, so of our friends. We had very interesting, so to say, talent show, art show of our friends who are really very creative, and some of them are painting great pictures. Some of them are taking great photos. They're doing jewelry. They're writing poems. They do a lot of interesting things, and will continue showing them and showing others that we are really very, very bright people, and that we are full of talents. And we'll see what will be next.
Yeah, and because a lot of initiatives come from not from us now, but from the community itself, we really cannot fully see the way it goes. But so we, as I say, we do not have plans, but we still have dreams, and the dream is that that the things that we are doing stay fun for us, and that other people continue joining, and that it will be like a flow, like a road that has no end, and that we will still find it a great thing to do, like 10 years from now. And we do have something like the core notes in jazz. You can improvise in jazz. You can improvise as much as you want, as long as you stay on those core notes. And these core notes are the core kind of values or principles that we go by, which are, again, no politics, no bickering about bad or good things, and no price discussions really. And it will be more about promoting ourselves as humans than as translators, because there are a lot of resources where you can talk translation matters, but there are not so many things where interpreters and translators can just feel themselves, can just feel that they're human. And there is one more very important thing. It is about promoting the language, our target languages. You know that we have studied a lot. We have studied the foreign languages, our B and C languages, but we kind of tend to ignore a little bit the language we translate into, and we consider that to be our native languages. And in this group, they are Russian and Ukrainian. And we will continue posting on things that show that languages are developing, and at the same time promoting the good language, the good speech, and that stays very important. So these core notes, and other than that, people can improvise. We can improvise as much as we want.
I am actually a silent reader of the group. I don't spend too much time on Facebook, but I must say that the atmosphere in the group is really special. And there are not too many translation-related things, but it's very creative. The atmosphere, creative and friendly and open. And I think the third language, official language, is English. So probably. I haven't seen much postings in English, but at least it says on the website that the English is also the official language. So probably some other people could also join and post something in English, and it would also be okay. I just want to, so probably if you're Russian or Ukrainian speaking, we will provide the link to the group in the show notes, definitely. What are some of the advices you could give to people who want to do something similar? Probably not publish a book, but do something creative to promote the translation profession. What would your advices be? Pieces of advice be?
Yeah, and the question is now, Tetyana, you still don't hear what was going on, and there were so many good things said about our club, and there was
and I missed everything.
And there was an idea that maybe we can work on the English language content more, but maybe we will do that in the future, because we do have some not really plans.
My idea wasn't actually working on the English language content, but maybe people who speak or write English could also join and just post something in English there, or
we were certainly not.
That's what I meant.
English-speaking people are absolutely welcome. And the question was about the advice that we can give to people who want to do some creative things on something like we did, or something different but creative. What do we advise them?
Yes, we have, so to say, several maybe tips, and the first and the most important is just to have a dream, and to have people who will share this dream with you. It's really very, very important. Maybe I would also add that it's very important to be yourself. Just because you cannot deceive so many people, even if you put a lot of smiles in your posts and post a lot of pictures of the cats and dogs, you would never. If you don't feel it, people won't follow you, people won't join you in sharing your dream. So it's very important to be yourself and to be sincere in what are you doing. And maybe it's also very important just to not to make this dream or every step huge step or huge dream, very grand dream. Just have small dreams, small ideas. Just when you have it, do it. Have it, do it, and you'll see how easily it flows all your deeds, and it's very applicable to everything what we do in life. Elena, maybe some tips from you.
Just having a dream is something that I share, and not making not keeping a huge time, not leaving too long time between the dream and reality. There is no gap. In fact, you dream something, you do something. It's not that you dream and you stay in your dreams. It's better to get the dream out of your head, out of your heart, and into the community. As long as it's not destructive. It can be disruptive, but it doesn't. But it shouldn't be destructive. And there's one more thing. It's when people start something, they are scared to do that because they are afraid that they make a mistake. They will make a mistake, and everything just flops. Everything shuts down, and everything will be over. But knowing that things will be over at some point is not a bad thing. Everything ends at some point, and you have to be ready that you will get tired. You will. Somebody will switch off Facebook. The planet will change. Will go into another universe. Anything can happen, or you'll just lose interest. So don't be afraid of things being finite. Try to keep them infinite, but don't make that scare you. Don't make that. Don't let that stop you from living your dream, from living as you are. Yeah. Nothing else.
I think it's a fantastic advice and a word to live by.
And have fun when you do something.
Fun. Absolutely.
Just simply.
Yeah. So you have such an amazing and warm and cozy project, and I was wondering, have you ever received some kind of letters or emails from your community thanking you for everything you do, and maybe sharing the stories how this project has changed their lives? Has it changed any lives in a major way?
The question is, did we ever get any letters or any thanks from people who are members of the community, or from people who read the book, and those letters saying that we or what we're doing is changing or has changed their life in any way? I think people
Yes.
keep saying things like that, but we do not really keep track of that. We do not post that on our website. Okay, we have changed the life of so many people. I think that if people get engaged in something that is making them feel better, then they do feel that their life is changing. And I really hope that, because our lives have changed, and mine has changed a lot. I do hope that others may feel the same. At least they get some place to showcase their art, maybe, and maybe some people who have to see their art will see that, and maybe they will buy paintings from them. They will see that all in the future.
No, actually, we have the story of one of the artists who even missed the deadline of submitting her application, because when she wrote us, we had our book already published, and she sent her paintings to us, and we just wrote back that, wow, they're awesome, they're really awesome. We like them so much, but we don't need them at that moment. And actually, it was the story when she was afraid of painting for 10 years because somebody told her that, well, she won't be an artist. She never will be an artist. And after that appreciation, when we put her paintings in our group, when we showed them, she felt much better. She felt much better. Everybody of her people in her Facebook community saw her paintings presented at our art show, and now she have orders like a painter. Because actually she works for recent years like a journalist. She's not a painter, but she wanted to continue her career like a painter. So we have one proved story of changed life, and I think there are a lot of other stories behind that story.
Yeah, I think that when people do something they love, like you do, that just can't be stopped from spreading around and changing people's lives. And yeah, I'm sure that this project has a very bright future and will change many more lives, hopefully.
Yeah, that will be good. Even though that's not the
aim,
goal for the project to be a life change.
But that's I think if someone sets such a goal of changing someone's life, then that goal will never be reached. But when people when people just love what they do, then when the magic happens.
Yeah, that's true.
So probably this is a great time to wind up. If you have anything to add, you can certainly do. But yeah, Elena, would you like to add something?
So as we are, Tetyana, as we are winding up now, there are our final words, and I can see
that was
cat tools.
Yeah, cat tools all around me. You have seen one of them. The second also joined me for a short amount of time, and now she's running somewhere around the flat.
Yeah, I also have two of them, but they're suspiciously quiet. So
they're probably up to something.
As soon as this show is over, I will just go and look at what they're doing. Okay, so I think Tetyana thought that we're already through. So it's just a thank you. It's just a thank you thanks to you for inviting, and you've been such a great company.
Thank you for joining us. And, I really enjoyed our talk, and it was a bit philosophical and very inspiring. Thank you so much for joining us.
Okay. Thank you.
And if you joined us, just a couple of things we usually say at the end of the show. If you joined us late and missed something, you can watch the recording later. You can also go to blabbingtranslators.com and subscribe to our email list so that you won't miss any future shows. And you can also become our guest by clicking a big red button saying, I want to be your guest, somewhere on our main page of our website. And we'll see you next Wednesday.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay,
Have a good day, everyone.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye-bye.